Hello everyone, today we're doing an install of Chimera Linux. We're gonna make it with Rootfs encryption and with GNOME desktop environment. So what is Chimera Linux and why should we care? It's a modern distribution that was started in 2021, and their goal was to create a modern distribution that is non-GNU. So they use Muscle as libc. Here they use Muscle as libc, and they use LLVM at their compiler stack, and their userland is BSD, and they also have their own init system, which is the init, and compared to other non-systemd init systems like Runit or OpenRC, they don't really have user services, and the init has them. But as far as I know, OpenRC recently had some patches that kind of should make it possible, but it's not really working as of right now. So yeah, their default desktop environment is GNOME, but you can pretty much run it without any desktop environment, and the distribution is pretty minimal. And they also use Pipewire as their default audio stack, which is pretty good. This distribution uses AppK as a package manager, and they use their own cports build system, that basically makes it possible to build everything from source if you so desire. And first they use XBPS at the beginning, but then they switch to AppK. And this distribution isn't based on Void or Alpine. It's their own distribution, and they kind of started it as their build system as a rewrite of XBPS SRC, but right now it's their own thing that is separate from Void or Alpine. So let's proceed with installation. Okay, I already prepared some QEMU scripts to basically run the virtual machine. Well, let's go. Yep, I should have run it with basically ISO. 1 second. Like this. Yes. I'm gonna make the install in SSH. I'm just gonna log in and enable SSHD. I'm gonna use dnetctl and start SSHD because it's I missed T. Okay, and I'm gonna check for IP address 81. So let's connect. Okay, I need to clean up my hosts. Now we can connect. We're in, so we don't need this. I'm gonna make the font a little bit bigger. This looks good, I think. And first of all, I'm gonna do S2 and log in as root. And we can also use AppK on the base ISO. We can like add their Chimera repo contrib, and now I can install, for example, add this shell. Okay, we can run fish. We can see our device we're gonna install, and let's use their documentation. They have really nice documentation, for example, for disk encryption. They show you how to use a crypt setup, how to use OVM, and how to format the partitions. They suggest ext4 as the kind of default file system, but we're gonna use XFS today because it has copy and write. It should be faster. Okay. First, we need to create a GPT table, and we need to create two partitions. First partition, gonna create this default partition number, default first sector, but we're gonna give it 512 megabytes of memory, and then it creates it with the type Linux file system, but we need to change it to FI system, and the type number is 1 for this one. And then we need to create another partition. We leave everything as default because it's gonna use all the remaining space basically, and that's what we want. We can see the partitions here. Next step is to create encrypted deluxe volume. We're gonna use script setup for it, and we need lux format dev vda2. I'm gonna give it label lux so we can use the encrypt tab later. Give it a simple password, and after we created our encrypted volume, we need to basically open it and mount it as a mapped device. But we don't need Lux format, we need Lux open. And we give it the mapped device name. You can see this device a dev mapper crypt. Okay, and after that we need to create basically LVM volume group. We're gonna use this command, and there VLG is the name of the volume group. Next we need to create 3 logical volumes. First one is gonna be root for our rootfs. They suggest you to use 40 gigabytes, and that's pretty good default, but this virtual machine only has 15, so I'm gonna give it 9 gigabytes for rootfs. And kinda in the same way, just as an example, I'm gonna give it 1 gigabyte for swap, and all the remaining space I'm gonna use for whole partition. Okay, you can see our logical volumes, and now we can proceed with creating the file systems. First, we're gonna create a fed for our FE partition. We're gonna give it label FE, and then we need to create 2 XFS partitions for root and home. For root, I'm gonna give it label root, obviously. You can access LVM devices 2 ways. You can use like a mapper and like this, or you can use the name of the volume group and like this. Now we're gonna do the same for home. And the last one gonna be swap. Okay, swap. We're gonna give it label swap. We can see that we created all the partitions, and all the file systems are properly set up. So now we need to mount our partitions, and we need to basically bootstrap the Chimera Linux files. First of all, we're gonna mount root you can mount by the name of the label at media, and then we're gonna create folders mk, mkgear, media, home, and boot, and we're gonna mount our home at media home, and we're gonna mount our A5 partition at media boot. We can check this, and we can also swap on swap. You don't really need that. I'm not gonna run out of memory or anything, but I'm just showing you basically how you can do it if you need for some reason. And now we can proceed with strapping. So here in the installing section, they give you the command, and there are different options. First of all, you can use local files, so like this Chimera ISO has different packages installed, and basically if you're gonna give it -l as a local installation, you're gonna copy all of these packages into the root directory of your installation. And if you're gonna use like default bootstrap without any options, you're gonna download packages from the network, and by default it only downloads base full meta package, but you can like add packages here or in fact override them. Okay, I'm not gonna override anything, we're gonna use the default. So we need to run Chimera strap media, and it's gonna download everything. Okay, and basically shows you how to install kernel, how to make a fast app, how to, for example, enable serial TTY, how to generate a drum file, how to install grub. We're gonna use grub, of course. We're gonna use if you put mgr. So, but first we need to continue with our disk encryption and set up some stuff. Okay, we done our bootstrapping, and now we can run Chimera change root command. And you can see we successfully changed root, and now we can do update. We can add the Chimera repo contrib like this. Also, you can search for packages like apt search, and if I search for Chimera repo, you can see that Chimera has three like main repositories. Basically, the main one, which has like the most, I would say, stable and curated packages, and basically only packages that you need for a basic functioning system. Then there are contrib packages. Those are packages that you may need, but they don't really required for like the base system, and they are less curated, but they still are pretty good. And the last one is Chimera repo user. It's the least curated packages. So yeah, and also if package is in user doesn't mean it's bad. It can also be because the package does not compile on all the architectures that Chimera supports, because I don't think if I mentioned it or not, but it also tries, besides being like modern, minimal and user-friendly, it tries to be portable. So on packages you can see that it supports like 5 architectures, ARM64, 2 variants of like PowerPC, RISC-V, and x86-64. So if some packages like don't compile on one of those architectures, they go into user. but they can be over like contrib quality, you know. So there is that. Next, I'm gonna install a couple of things. For disk encryption, we need, most importantly, we need crypt stop scripts, and we need LVM because we used LVM. So I'm gonna apk add crypt stop scripts LVM2, and I'm also gonna install fish shell because why not? Okay, I'm gonna enter fish, and then I'm gonna install my kernel. Basically, they show you how to install a kernel on the installation section. Should be somewhere here. Okay, yes. So if you want like regular kind of latest line kernel, you're gonna use LTS. And if you need like stable version, you're gonna need Linux stable. I'm gonna install LTS. So okay, add Linux LTS. And you can see now it tries to install like a bunch of firmware, but no. But if we give it like a kdel base full firmware, okay, so basically it can't uninstall it because we don't have it installed, but we can just put this line into apk world package, so we can like basically blacklist this meta package, because on a virtual machine we don't need to install any firmware. All the drivers gonna work anyway. And then we can add our Linux LTS, and it's not gonna pull any firmware. So that's how you like blacklist packages on Chimera. Okay, we're done. So I think I'm gonna use basically Gentoo wiki. I'm gonna use a faststop file I used for my Gentoo installation, because I don't wanna use genfaststop because it generates a bunch of nonsense. Like, oh yeah, and give it a root. Like, what is this? Like, you know, it's unusable. So I prefer to write the faststop file manually, but because I already have one prepared, you know, I'm gonna use that one. Wait, root. Okay, root fast encryption, yes. Just gonna copy this faststop file. I'm gonna link this wiki page and also like Chimera Linux website in the description if you want to check this out. Also, I think I'm gonna use like labels. Oh yeah. I'm so bad like with regular VI. So yes, we can like use labels like that. Home, and we can also use labels even for swap. Okay, this looks good. And also a bit different from like Gentoo. You can also do it on Gentoo, but there it's a bit easier. You can basically write a crypt tab file, which is kind of like a faststop file, but it represents the encrypted volumes you want to be encrypted when you launch your computer. And for our volume, we're gonna write it like this. So first we give it the mapped device name, how it's gonna be displayed when it's decrypted, and then we give it a path, but we can give it like not path but ID, or we can give it label. So we can do it like this: label lux, and the next one is gonna be path to key file. We don't use any key files, so it's gonna be none. And the last one is the encryption type. We're gonna give it lux because we use lux. And that's basically it. Okay, so crypt tab, and the file looks like this. It's kind of similar to first tab, but it's also a bit different. And now we have our kernel. Okay, we have our it already generated someone in RAMFS, but we need to regenerate it because we like added the script tab entry, and this is the command you use to like regenerate any RAMFS, you know. Okay, that looks good. And then I think I'm gonna install GNOME. I'm gonna use the desktop environment. The kinda is a flagman on this distribution. And yes, so here on desktops, you can see that you can basically have any day or like VM you want, but they can recommend GNOME. So we're gonna use GNOME. I'm not really the fan of GNOME, but for this video we're gonna use GNOME. And also with GNOME I'm gonna install FE mgr and of course fastfetch. Really important system package, can't live without. Yes, I need to do apt-get, of course. And we're gonna install some 700 packages, you know. Here it also shows you how to like start services with DNetSTL. Okay. It also shows you how to stop microcode if you're using Intel CPU, and also for AMD CPU. And how to, like, for example, install GameScope, install Steam and everything. How to do networking. Okay, you can use IVD for wireless. DHCPCD to like get an IP address. You know, you can also install Network Manager. For GNOME meta package, it's gonna install Network Manager anyway, so we just need to enable it. And also in the installation, it recommends you to enable, I think, not installation, it's post-installation. Yes, it shows you how to create user, and we're gonna use polkit there. And when you use like policy kit, you only need to add your user to like VO group, and KVM you only need if you're gonna use KMU and stuff like that. How to set up like host name, time zone, and how to enable system logger. Okay, so GNOME is installed. We're gonna use the init ctl. We need to pass it offline flag like this, because we don't actually run our system right now. We just churted, and we do like enable GDM for GNOME Display Manager. We do network manager for network manager. And also we enable system logger, syslog. Okay, then we create our user. You're right, I'm gonna use name user Sean. And they're gonna assign user to the following groups. Only group will. Okay. And it's gonna use it's user mode, of course. I'm gonna give it a password. I'm not gonna give password to root user, because if you have a real user, you don't really need a password for root user. And it's even safer this way. We're also gonna give our computer a name. I'm gonna name it, I don't know, Sonozaki, I guess. And then we need to set our time zone. We're gonna use LN for that. User share zone info Europe. No. Europe, and it's gonna be Moscow for me. And link it to etc. local time. I think that's basically it. We created the user, we gave it a password and proper groups. And also, Chimera uses duos by default. You can see it already installed, and even gives you like default config, which is pretty reasonable, I would say. And I think our last command was like to install fboot-mgr, yes, fast fetch, of course. And what we need to do now? We need to basically create a UEFI entry to boot from. I'm gonna use fboot-mgr, C for create, D for device. I'm gonna give it dev VDA. I'm gonna also give it a entry name. I'm gonna call it Chimera. And then we provided our kernel. Okay, it's gonna be VM Linux. And then we're gonna provide the CMD line. It's gonna be like this. So init rd equals root equals label equals root to basically set our rootfs. Init rd. Okay, created an entry. We can check it now. Our kernel, the name I gave it, init rd equals okay. Everything looks good now. I think we should try rebooting. So I'm gonna exit our change root directory, and I'm gonna do reboot command. So it should reboot now, and we run our Spice client again, and it started now. I'm gonna make it full screen for you to see. I'm gonna decrypt our volume with the password I gave it, and you can see it booted into GNOME. You can even like set the screen resolution. Gonna give it a proper one I'm using on my monitor. Now it looks better. And we got network manager working. We got network. We can even test it now. For example, in google.com works. And yes, you can see we got it installed. Let's see the system details. You can maybe, I don't know, like change the appearance. Basic GNOME stuff. we can see like because our user in a root group, we can use dos, and if for example we need a root account, we can just do it like this. And now we're root, but root doesn't have a password setup. Oh yeah. So encryption works. We have swap. I can run like fast fetch for you. See. And I think what I can show next. Oh yes, I can show you user services. So if you do like dnetctl list. Yes, I also need to spell it correctly, and I think I need to increase font size a bit. So if you run it like user, it's gonna show you user services, and you can see by default it started the bus, started wire plumber, pipe wire, and everything. Basically what systemd does, and you don't need to do anything on Chimera. And if we do dos dnetctl, okay, I'm gonna give it like a command. You can see all the services it started. It has a bunch of default services that are kind of on a system level. Yeah, it sets up different file systems like LVM, ZFS, Butterfs, and also like hostname, swap, and this kind of stuff. But you can also then see the services that we got installed, like network manager, syslog, what else? Yes, GDM, and some services it actually have to start, like a login and bulkit. These services that will be auto started, you can search for them, like k info, like grep, for example, they need links, and it will show you like these packages that contain links for services that will be automatically enabled when you install them. And for example, on something like Debian, you can't really prevent that, or on Ubuntu, but there you can just basically blacklist those packages, and no such services will be enabled. So that's basically Chimera Linux, and pretty fun distribution. However, I have to mention that currently in alpha stage. So if you need like a really stable system, maybe that's not what you should be looking at. But anyway, I think it's kind of pretty interesting, and maybe we'll make more videos. And in the next video, I think I'll show you how to work with their like C ports, how to install packages from stores, and stuff like that. So as for now, thank you for watching, and I see you again.